Hello, welcome back to the M2 podcast. I'm your host, Michael Anthony. My co-host right here is KyleHeath. This is the show where we cover this week's gaming industry related news. So I think this week we're going to be talking about a new shooter, Deadlock by Valve. We're going to talk about some developer action with the Switch 2, Witcher 4 news, Unity, like coming back to that whole thing, and Tango Studios, who made Hi-Fi Rush, is apparently not dead. So I guess without further ado, Kyle, how you been, man? Like, what's your week been like? Did you actually get a chance to play games this time? Like, what's up?
Already know, dude. Look, I made a promise. I was like, I gotta play something this week. So I sat out on the couch in the living room, whipped up the old Xbox, and saw that.
Oh yeah, you took a picture of it and sent it to me.
Yeah, and saw
to prove a point.
Yeah, like so. I was like looking through Game Pass. And I was like, hey, dude, like I forgot Flintlock came out like a couple weeks ago. I guess almost a month ago now. And it's like kind of a Souls-like, sort of like, it almost seems like double A in terms of like quality, but I mean but it's still like the story isn't like super compelling, but I'm still like someone involved in that. It's really just like it's a good game, kind of Souls-like combat. So if you're into that kind of thing, I think would probably strike a chord for a lot of that kind of a lot of that group. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's been a long time since I played a Souls-like. I was getting cooked, dude, like bad. Like, and I'm only a couple hours in, dude. I'm just dying to like double teams, and I'm like looking up tips on my phone, like trying to figure out how to like get better. Because I'm just like, dude, what is this? But I think ultimately I'm taking the game too fast, and I'm trying to like do too much at once. So
yeah, you can't do that with a Souls-like game.
Yeah,
unless you're just God tier, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's just like I'm just getting like double hit out of nowhere and just like not learning the movement patterns, and I'm like, I just gotta slow down. But when I get back into it, I'll definitely just gonna try and pace myself and hopefully start winning, because right now it's tough, dude. I'm struggling. I can't lie, but I don't want to have to turn down the difficulty, so I'm trying to just learn the game. It's worst case scenario I could, but dude,
it's just gonna take time. Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's definitely a time investment for sure, but I don't know. Other than that, I mean, I think the combat's still for the most part pretty fun and rewarding, so I think that's good. They have like a whole like skill tree system, and there's like different skills. You do get a gun. Obviously, you get like a flintlock pistol is like a kind of a secondary.
Oh, yeah.
And you also get like a sniper of sorts, like a musket. At least that's where I'm at now. I got like a musket now, so it's limited shots, but you get more bullets as you like use your melee. So it's kind of like an incentive to.
It's pretty cool.
Stay with that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what Doom does. Yeah. Like in terms, you have to melee the enemies or space demons in order to get ammo and stuff. Yeah. It's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's pretty cool. There's a lot to learn and a lot of skills to get. It kind of reminds me of like God of War and that kind of thing. So it's a nice little tree there. So I'm excited to explore that. And there's the campfires too. I forget what they call them in the game, but it's essentially like this Dark Souls campfires where you can like rest and rejuvenate health and get pots and whatnot. So yeah, so a lot of similarities, but yeah, the enemies seem interesting, and it is rewarding when it's like, even if I have to like redo a section multiple times, it's still rewarding to like kill enemies and feel like you actually like put up a fight. So I like that aspect. But yeah, dude, that was, I mean, in terms of like games I played, I think it was like the only thing really this week I played, but I've sunk like a good 4 or 5 hours into it so far, so got some time. That's good. And it's from what I saw, it's like, I think altogether it's like a 9-10 hour game if you kind of just go through it.
That's not, so you're kind of halfway there. Like, are you gonna do a rating on it at the end?
Yeah, I think I'll probably
a little bit of a review.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll definitely give it a rating, I think, at the end. But yeah, I don't know. I've been stuck in this last part, not gonna lie, for like an hour and a half. So probably add an hour and a half to that. it's kind of rough, dude. But
yeah, I remember my first like Souls game. It took me hours to beat the first boss because I didn't understand what I was doing and I didn't understand the purpose of it. But I'm sure like some of my friends that have been playing Souls games forever, they've kind of figured it out within 30 minutes or less.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, I'm getting cooked, man. Like it took me days to like finish it.
Same, dude.
I had to take a break.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not ready.
I got to that point where I was just like, I need to take a break and come back like another day or something because it was just taking too long.
I love games like that though.
But yeah, but it's one of those things. It's like I just want to give up, but at the same time, I'm like, I know it's gonna feel so good if I just get through this section and I actually learn the game. So that's my goal. to
Good.
actually like try and learn it. But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's still a very enjoyable game so far. Like the gods and the characters are fun, and there's like just some funny lines and stuff thrown in. Kind of make it.
Yeah.
Dialogue's not too bad. So yeah, I'm enjoying that aspect. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how good my final review is. But it's
Okay.
yeah. Outside of that,
Cool, man.
not really too much gaming or anything. That's kind of about it. But what were you playing this week, Mike? I saw you pop open stream a couple times.
Oh, dude, I've been streaming a lot more. I think I told you about that. Like maybe last week's episode or the week before. I told you I'm gonna just start streaming whenever I'm playing again.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm getting maybe like 5 viewers or something like that. Sometimes if there's an actual series where people want to watch, because that's what I'm playing is just Halo stuff. And if we get some like good old 4v4 action going on with some people that other people know, it's like the viewership goes up. So that's kind of cool just to
Yeah.
have like a group of people. It's mostly just trying to get back in the swing of just streaming and gaming at the same time.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I got dude, I got back into playing Counter Strike ranked, and I've been getting absolutely destroyed. I got to get out of silver in a couple of maps because it's just bad. Because it's like, dang, dude, I knew I was bad, but I didn't know I was that bad.
Oh
Um,
man.
being silver in any rank is not good. So we're gonna try to crank it up, get to gold, see how we do. I mean, everybody starts somewhere. I started in like what silver or gold initially with Rocket League when I first got the game, and
Mm.
it's now I'm at champ level. So it's like it took time,
That
no
takes
doubt.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I've been doing is I played Halo 3 MLG, like 4v4 pickup games, stuff that I've been doing with like Halo 2 forever. And I was like, well, this new Discord just started. They seem pretty active. So yeah, let's get on Halo 3. Let's see how that's like. It's been fun. It's been a good time. Um,
Okay.
a little bit of Halo 2, all different versions, literally MCC, Cartographer, and OG. The reason why I'm wearing the real ones merch is because like what 3 days ago, Monday, 3 or 4 days ago, they announced MLG Puckett announced, and if you know who MLG Puckett is, Chris Puckett, pretty sure it's Chris.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, announced. I mean, he's also with Call of Duty too. Announced that they're throwing the Las Vegas Halo 2 throwback land with CRTVs and original Xboxes, and that's stuff that
Maybe.
I've like kind of hinted towards you a couple of times. Well,
Yeah.
they officially announced it, and it's being run by Level 50 .gg is where you can get all the information you want to. They're gonna do like
Yeah.
a free for all on Friday, a 32 double elimination, well, 32 team double elimination bracket that's gonna span Saturday and Sunday, and it's gonna be broadcasted. And every pass that you buy, including spectator, FFA, and team passes, are going to be what do you call it? All the money is going to go directly towards the prize pool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty sick. They're like nobody's making money off of this, which is
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, this is kind
It's
of crazy.
just
Like, just
yeah,
going.
it's like we got a ton of donations. Sundance donated $10,000. Somebody else matched this $10,000. There are a couple of people in the community that threw in like 1,000 here, 1,000 there, and this is before the big sponsors start throwing money in.
Oh
So
man.
like the prize pool's already at 40,000 within like 36 hours or something.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's like this is all crowdfunded, and it's only going to pick up steam when because Halo 2 is arguably like one of the biggest shooters ever. I think Halo 3 is probably the bigger one that everybody knew and played, but Halo 2 kind of kicked it off, right? So maybe the traction can end up on like honestly the news articles and their websites and like platforms that we read every single week.
Oh yeah.
Like
Definitely. Yeah.
it's gonna be nuts. Like doing the interview with the guys that started it all would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it just there's
Yeah.
so many options. Um, yeah, it's basically all I'm really saying about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. But in the meantime, I am patiently going to wait for like Splitgate 2 to come out. I saw that popping off on Twitter this week because they're doing a closed beta, invited some content creators, and it looks good. It looks just like the first one, but they definitely improved on it. It's like the mechanics are the same, which is great because sometimes you don't need to change it. They just add a little bit more flair to the game to keep people interested. Hopefully, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna be returning to Splitgate. No questions asked. I'm really excited. I actually need to check out the Splitgate like pubs, discords that I'm in that the pro players were always playing in.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that'd be really cool to play some games with those guys. But
Um,
we'll see.
yeah, dude, I'm excited all around. That's I think the Halo 2 of it'll be interesting, and it's
It's
gonna
gonna be
be.
weird.
I think it's gonna be interesting to
Weird.
see Halo 2 at that level of production. You know what I'm saying? Like a tournament at that level of production. So that's what I'm probably most excited
It's
for.
yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna think it's gonna be like a meme. Like it's gonna be
Yeah, I mean,
very
I
like dingy and stuff, but they have adapters now. They have the technology and the upscaling capability. Dude, like I stream frequently OG Halo 2 games, and
yeah,
I feel like
it's
the
watchable. It's I
quality
don't think
on
it's
yeah, it's difficult to understand because you're at 78 FOV. It's like
yeah, it
freaking
is
horse
like yeah,
blinders are on.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
whereas if
really
you
up
go to
close.
any other shooter, they're over 100
Yeah, it's like field of view
field of
is
view.
crazy now. Yeah,
Yeah, and they also have, like, third party, like, out of the map views and stuff. Like, the watching experience on Valorant, Overwatch, and, Counter-Strike in particular, as a spectator is so awesome.
no, yeah,
You're not gonna get that with the game from 2004, but
yeah,
that's okay.
yeah.
Um,
Just finding a way to
yeah.
like hopefully go between point of views and stuff, right? Just like kind of
Exactly,
all
yeah.
that. But
Oh,
I
they
think
definitely
the
can.
yeah, I think the beauty of that though too about this tournament is like everybody has the same crutches, right? Like everyone has the same sort of like handicaps, I guess so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like there's no
Yeah,
excuses kind of thing. So
exactly. Everybody's gonna be on a CRT, CRTV. They're all gonna be on the same, like, Xbox builds. They're gonna be stripped down Xbox builds so that they actually run better because it's old technology,
yeah,
and you only really need to run 1 game at a tournament. Then they're gonna have, controllers, like the default original controllers that came with the console.
yeah. I was just saying, no
So,
Dukes, just regular
nah,
controllers.
if you play with Duke, bring the Duke. I'm pretty sure Walshy plays with the Duke,
It's
and if he
wild.
comes,
Guy's
it's
a
like, dude, just
psychopath.
yeah. Dude, Walshy's settings are bizarre. He plays first of all, he plays inverse, like and he plays southpaw. So he aims with his left stick, and it's
Oh,
inversed,
oh
and he
no.
plays on a Duke. Dude,
Is he
let me
human? Like, is
no, I
that's
don't think people understand. Let me actually show you.
that guy's a freak,
I got
dude.
a Duke right here. Just for scale, I want to show people how ridiculous this controller is because a lot of people have never seen this in person or like seen like just the scale. Okay, this is a regular PS5 controller. Sorry for the people that only have video right now, but I'm basically going to compare a PS5 controller
Yeah,
that I use frequently
sorry, audio
with
listeners.
a Duke. What?
I was sorry,
Okay.
audio listeners, because you're
Yeah.
only you gotta see the video to see this. All right. I
You see
mean,
how
just how vertical that Xbox controller is, like
it's
this
ridiculous.
big. PlayStation controller is like that's crazy.
And
Dude.
it's an absolute reach. So this is pretty dusty and dirty. I never use this controller. I'll be honest with you. It's beat up. But look at the joystick right here. It's like what's it called? Concave where it goes up or is
Oh
that
yeah.
convex? Concave might be
Yeah,
in.
I think
Yeah.
concave's in, and then
So concave is typical for all PlayStation and Xbox controllers nowadays. They have like that regular little lip.
yeah, like the
See?
for grip.
Yeah. But yeah, but then this guy like what is this? Who
It's just
designed
like
that?
plastic, dude. It's not even like rubber.
Yeah. I got this at a Goodwill, by the way. That's why it's all
Nice.
really beat up. I plugged it in, it was all I still have the logo, like the sales thing. But yeah, it's like it's just beat up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but imagine being Walshy using this giant, ridiculous controller inversed and aiming with your left stick. Like what?
I don't know, dude. Brain works in weird ways. Look, all I'm
Oh
saying,
yeah, man.
my favorite button on
Who's a
the
goat though?
Xbox controllers, bro, black and white, little black and white
Oh,
buttons.
Facts.
Just iconic, dude. It's iconic.
It is really iconic. Back when they didn't have bumpers.
Yeah. Oh man, what a
Then
time!
PlayStation came out, changed the game.
What a time, man.
Yeah, but hey, how about we get into something a little bit more modern, and get away from like actually showing pictures over here because not everybody has the video going.
Yeah,
I
dude.
say we jump into a new game. We've been
agree.
talking about shooters at the start. We might as well keep going.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I agree. Let's start off. Listen, I know we've mentioned it, I think, briefly on this podcast before, but Valve is working on a new shooter, and it's kind of been in the low key, sort of works. But Well, news outlets and content creators are starting to play this game. It's called Deadlock. And this article comes from The Verge, Sean Hollister. We played Valve's secret new shooter Deadlock. It's like Overwatch, Dota 2, and Team Fortress 2 all baked into a pie. That's the way they described it. So sounds interesting. I love the comparisons. Like whenever a new game comes out, it's this, and this. If they had a baby,
Yes, dude.
like
Every time, man. It reminds me of Video Game Donkey when he was doing like game reviews.
yeah,
It makes you feel like
yeah.
Such a signature thing that they do.
Yeah, so let's get into this. It's been nearly 5 years. Think about this. 5 years since Valve announced a truly new game and counting. It's quite a while. It's talking pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic, dude. It's been a while. Valve has
been a long time. 4 years.
Yeah, I know. Valve has still not announced Deadlock, its new hero shooter that takes cues from Overwatch, Dota 2, Team Fortress 2, and more. But that hasn't stopped nearly 20,000 people from trying the game, including Sean at The Verge. And he said he's not under NDA, and that's what I saw from articles too. Is like not anyone who's played it is not really under NDA. It's kind of just like whatever. No one signed contracts, made no verbal agreements. Sean said he hasn't even clicked through the EULA. So they shows a little image too of a pop-up message that when you launch the game currently today, you'll see an early development build pop-up. It says Deadlock is still early in development with a lot of temporary art and experimental gameplay. Do not share anything about the game with anyone. Well, I mean, where's the verbal agreement, guys? Where's the signatures?
That's what I'm saying.
That's a little loose. It's like it's the honor system we're working on here. I don't know. So earlier today, Sean received a no strings attached invite to play Deadlock on Steam. Steam claims the game is made by Valve, displays Valve's copyrighted logo when it launches, and its executable is digitally signed by Valve Corp. The game's directories contain Valve legal notices and numerous other text files that reference Valve, and it feels like a Valve game. Though Valve didn't respond to requests for comment, I'm completely convinced that it's legit. So you see the little screen here. I just see this artwork, and it makes me think of Overwatch, kind of that.
I was thinking the same thing, dude.
Alleyway, like what map we talking here? Like this is crazy.
This looks like it's going to switch out every single time. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like that's how Overwatch. Like every time you dynamic menu. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Good point. So what is Deadlock? It is a 6-on-6 shooter, 6v6. Like the original Overwatch, where your team of heroes attempts to dominate a map by slowly wearing down the opposing team and pushing them back. But you're also leading an army of NPC grunts down 4 different lanes to destroy the opposing team's stationary defenses, a little like Dota 2 or other MOBA games.
It's an interesting,
you
said a little bit of a baby to it.
It's even a little gameplay, learning build gameplay in this article. So you can see kind of what it looks like. But yeah, so it's interesting as NPCs, or I should say little kind of bots. I think it's interesting. Obviously you play any MOBA. There's all sorts of kind of bots you could use to kill for XP and kind of level up kind of thing. So I think it's kind of interesting. It seems like they're kind of taking that into a hero shooter type of game. So fascinated by that. The gameplay is third person. Okay, I kind of like third person.
Okay, yeah, I think it looks really clean.
Yeah, I think the mini map in the bottom right reminds me a lot of a MOBA. Right, you get that main.
100%. Yeah, yeah, the multi lanes or whatever.
Yeah, setup. Honestly, a lot of this is kind of giving off a Smite vibe for me. In the map, and you have the 6 cards, I should say, for your team, 6 cards for the other team at the top. Little kind of icons. That stuff's interesting. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of digging this little kind of gameplay preview they have.
This is really interesting, to be honest. It's, I kind of want to try it out at least.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because this is maybe this is I don't know. I haven't played a lot of MOBAs, right? But you have, or you have in the past.
Yeah, Smite,
or something similar.
It's probably the biggest one. But...
So from me, I haven't really played it, but I have played a buttload of shooters and third-person shooters. This looks like it could just be a spin off of a third-person shooter that we need to have. Everything either feels like an arena shooter or battle royale. So this seems like it would be one of the first ones where it's kind of innovative. It's definitely taking pieces from elements that already exist in the industry the gaming industry.
Yeah.
But to add it all together makes it kind of unique.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would agree. It's definitely something
This
interesting. I
dude's
think I'm
yeah,
interested
this
in
guy's
kind
aim's
of.
trash though.
Yeah, I don't know who's playing this. Is this Sean? Is this you, bro? Like, what's this? But yeah, I mean, it's the health bars also is just very much kind of like an Overwatch kind of thing, right? You said
Yeah,
you have the sections and whatnot.
constantly regenerates too.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's a hodgepodge of different stuff. Like, I would agree. Like, it's not, I think it's it seems like an interesting way of doing it and kind of something we haven't seen yet from something like this, but it's definitely got a lot of elements from other games for sure. A shooter like this, it's kind of hard not to have elements from other games at this point. Like, to do something truly unique and outside of the box, it probably just would lay flat, I feel like, for the most part. But I don't know. Just a theory. But I mean, so far it's goes on for 24 minutes, so it's a lot of kind of the first match. That first match alone this guy had was this actually is Sean Hollister. Sean, what is your aim, bro? Like, I just gotta call this guy out, dude. What's going on?
Hold on, I gotta widescreen it and see if there's any. You know how they sometimes do those inputs on the HUD?
Um,
I don't think that's actually there, but no, he looks like he's playing on a controller.
Seems like controller movement for sure. So,
Yeah,
uh,
it seems like controller movement. Like everything's kind of overshot. It's not very accurate. So it's like this seems more of a game that you should be playing on a mouse and keyboard.
yeah. More than likely, but hey,
Yeah.
listen, Sean, we love you for showing gameplay. We'll say that.
Honestly, yeah.
Very cool. So he continues on the article. He said, "There's no downtime. It's a constant war between your team's troopers and the grunts and the enemy's team's troopers, which keep respawning and advancing on enemy positions wave after wave. But they can't break through unless the human-powered heroes lend them a hand with powerful weapons, abilities, and upgrades." Very similar. It kind of reminds me, like, from a Smite standpoint, like there's certain modes like Arena and whatnot where you have these minions you're trying to escort across the map, and in most cases, in order for them to actually get to the enemy team's part of the map, you need to kind of help and kill other gods, the enemy gods, so they can have time to get to the other side and stuff. Probably similar thing, I would assume. Nor can humans easily break through without their NPC army, or at least that's what I saw in my first match. To take down the flame-headed, energy-spewing guardians and hulking walkers that block your passage, it takes at least a somewhat coordinated effort by one human and their little autonomous friends to do this. Each match culminates in an all-hands-on-deck fight against the enemy's the patron. I was gonna say Patron. This ain't alcohol. Patron.
You see what you want to see, brother. How much you been drinking?
Oh, dude, haven't been drinking hardly at all. Might I say?
Good for you, actually.
A gigantic floating orb with arms and death rays. All right, the patron.
Okay.
After some Patron, that patron be looking kind of funny, but hey,
You ain't wrong.
like that. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see. They kind of show the enemy walkers. So you see like the giant. It's a giant thing.
Yeah, that's the enemy walker. That's the
Oh
Patron.
yeah, here's the patron.
I
got you saying
now.
Yeah, the patron. Look at this guy. Look at this little dude. Yana looks like an Aztec warrior almost, with like the headgear and I don't know. Interesting. When I say coordinated, I'm not talking about aiming. This isn't a Valorant or Apex Legends like game where snappy aim is key. It feels like Overwatch, or maybe even more so like Team Fortress 2, and it's floaty, wear down their health gameplay. You can tank, heal, and retreat even if a tremendous amount of enemy fire is coming your way. Yeah, that's why I see from the gameplay. It's got that Overwatch vibe, dude. Just everyone kind of tanks, but if you just like beam somebody, it can still be satisfying if they're like a lower, class player and you're like just big dude. So
Interesting.
Each match gets deadlier and deadlier as you unlock your hero's abilities and buy skills, many of which give you more damage per second. Others provide lifesteal, shielding, and more. Every character also has strong and light melee attacks, and you can parry an incoming melee attack to stun your opponent. Oh, there's a little combat gameplay. Okay. Interesting. I like this. And they kind of show Sean shows some screenshots of kind of the different UI elements, whether it's like a build or looking at your vitality, your spirit, and kind of seeing these different paths and skill trees you can take. So
yeah, the skill trees are pretty interesting. You have like an intro one, right, that has I don't know what the 500 is. So it goes like 500, 1250, 3000, 6300. You can see it too, right?
Yeah, I would assume it's
Um,
like some sort of in-game credit or something you get.
yeah, maybe like a tier system. You know how like some skill trees are you have to buy the cheapest or early tier, and as you go, like you have to follow the tree.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um, Diablo does that,
yeah.
where it's like you have to buy one, and then you have to get a certain amount before you can go to the next one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
it's interesting.
It
Yeah,
it almost looks like it's all just unlocked, but that may not be accurate. I don't know. Um,
yeah.
but yeah.
You could
Oh.
just be like, I would just save up and be like, you know what, we'll just get our butts kicked early on, but then boy, once I become I don't even know what it is, inhibitor and leech, you're done for. It's like those are the two most expensive ones.
Withering whip. It shows a gun with a crossed out and a
Oh yeah.
slash through it. Some of these you could probably speculate for days on these. Some of these are knockdown, silence glyph. There's a lot, so that's a lot of skills. So it helps that there are a lot of ways to dodge enemy bullets and traverse the map. You can slide, dash, air dash, dash jump, double jump, and mantle up to ledges. Each of the game's 4 lanes also has an aerial tramway that lets you hitch free rides into and out of the fray. Zip lines don't feel overpowered. After an earlier leak, I'd once heard them compared to Titanfall's attack from any angle traversal gameplay, but Valve keeps them away from the actual firing lanes or firing lines. You have to retreat to territory on your own before they'll work. They also look like they'll lead to fascinating give and take mechanic as games progress. To power up, I needed to take my hero back to the shop and buy new perks with the souls I've accumulated by destroying enemy troopers and heroes, but that left my territory undefended. By the time I returned, the front lines had been pushed back further than I would have liked. Even in this early development build, there are already 20 different heroes, plenty of which like ones I've enjoyed playing. Yes, some of them are common archetypes like the archer, swordsman, sniper, and shotgun teleport specialist, but it's not all that simple. Have you ever seen an Infernus who literally finger guns his foes to pieces? There you go.
This is crazy.
This guy actually has finger guns. It's wild. That's kind of wild, dude. Wraith, okay, a little Tommy gun mafia vibe going with this hero like that. Yeah, McGinnis. This just looks like what's her face from Overwatch? Zarya. I don't know who this.
Yeah, Zarya. Yeah,
like that.
it really
Haze.
does.
Okay, Haze is like a very kind of silent but deadly kind of character. It looks like
That's Black Widow.
literally. Pocket.
Nah.
Pocket. This is definitely a sniper. I forget the sniper in Overwatch, but that reminds me.
The sniper. No, the sniper in Overwatch is actually Black Widow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But Pocket kind of looks like the Reaper. Is that shotgun he's holding, or is that an actual sniper?
That's like a sniper. Oh, powerful shotgun with a thin frame. It is a shotgun. Okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
This man's never seen a gun before.
That's insane, bro. I see this bottom half, dude. I don't know what I'm looking at. Lady, yes.
This is
my gosh.
This is kind of sick, man. Like these are all 20 player. Like I'll speed run it. Maybe I can find some way that looks good.
Yamato, Ivy.
Oh, okay. Go to 10. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Great talent. Oh, we could do it. I don't even know the old sound.
Hanzo.
Yeah, it's literally Hanzo. That's so sick. I like the green arrows though. That's badass.
Okay, so they have 4 base abilities, and then you can upgrade them as you go.
Bebop. Come on, dude. Bebop.
Paradox looks kind of cool.
Bebop.
I like that.
Dynamo. Oh, Dynamo with the electrode kind of thing. Ooh, Paradox. Okay. Little goo inside a dome. Like that. Lash. Okay. It's like good Doomfist kind of human version. But, Bow and Krill. I mean, this reminds me.
This could honestly.
This
could be an esport, bro.
I mean, yeah, really good. Oh, see, here's your Black Widow, dude.
That's yeah. Vindicta. Vindicta. Yeah, Vindicta.
Vicious. He looks like he's in like a hazmat suit. It's pretty sick. 7. He's got what looks like one of those like drum mags from like a World War II like COD game on his head. He's got like coils coming out the top. It's pretty cool. Looks like some of the COD zombies. I like that. Abrams, he's Frankenstein, but looks like, an intellectual. So there you go. Borden, he's literally a prison guard from the 40s. Or like a British like trooper or something like that. Yeah, dude. That was all like interesting and different. I like that. Pretty cool. Very cool, dude. Listen, we ain't got much of this article left, Mike.
No, we don't.
I
Um,
initially gravitated towards Wraith. They should replace all that. Let's see. I think some of this is kind of his personal preference from the looks of it. While Valve has yet to announce or even acknowledge this game's existence publicly, the current build lets anyone with a copy invite as many Steam friends as they like to give it a try too. That's why I have an invite, and that's why my friends now have an invite. It's an unusual way to release a game, but this is Valve we're talking about. It's an unusual company, and he's not wrong. And a little update, he said update on August 12th when he made this update. Turns out Valve was not fine with me trying Deadlock with friends. I've been banned from matchmaking. Oh well. Please feel free to make fun of me in the comments. Oh, dude. And then he posted a little screenshot. Remember, your party is permanently banned from playing in this mode. It's tough. It's tough. Hey, that's me. Starfire2258. Rip Sean Hollister, dude. He just had to do it. Oh, man. Well, here you go, Mike. It's a new Valve shooter on the rise, dude. What do you think overall? I'm thinking it could be something.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's wild, permanently banned from playing this mode. I wonder if when the full game releases, he'll be freed.
Hopefully,
But
yeah.
while you were going along, I was trying to find out if this game was readily available. Apparently, it's been in closed beta for months, and it's an invite only. And friends can invite friends, and there's an honor system not to share any of the content with anybody online. Right?
Yeah.
Well, Sean Hollister broke that, so I'm sure he's banned for that. It's pretty cool. It's actually really, really wild. Apparently, there's like 20,000 people playing this game regularly.
Yeah.
So
It's already a little bit of an audience. It's not even out in the public.
yeah.
So.
Man, I'm gonna open up my Steam right now and try to see if I
I'm
can find it.
in there. That's what I'm getting in there.
Hello. How do I send the request? Valve? Help.
Hey, Valve, help me. Yo, dude, send the podcast boys a code, Valve. Come on.
Please.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's not even like officially available. It's one of those ones you probably have to get a special code and then go type it in and then get access. What do you think, man? I think it's really cool. I'm excited. I want to see what comes of this.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I want to see more of it. The heroes are interesting. Seems like interesting aspects of the gameplay. So all around, dude, I'm excited. I think it could be interesting for sure. So
oh yeah,
like it
for sure.
Like it. I was interested about Switch too, dude. Interested about that coming out soon, but hey, it's not looking good, Mike. It's not looking good.
No. So we did receive some news this week from Video Game Chronicle, and it has to do with how basically the developers are reportedly being told not to expect the Switch 2 to launch before April 2025. I thought it was going to launch this year, didn't you? Or at least by like Christmas.
I mean,
something, man.
Yeah, I don't know about this year, but I was definitely thinking Q1, Q2 at the latest 2025, but it's not looking like that.
Yeah, I mean, April is technically Q2, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's the start of Q2, but it depends on your calendar year because some calendar years actually go to like the end of Q4 is March, I think March 1st. I don't know. Some industries are different. Yeah. Very weird. But this article comes from Tom Ivan over at Video Games Chronicle. I'm just going to jump right into it. So, according to GameIndustry.biz head Chris Dring, who discussed launch plans for Switch's successor of the publication's last podcast, he said that developers have reportedly been briefed not to expect Nintendo's next console in launch by before April 2025. So Nintendo confirmed in May that it will announce its next console during its current fiscal year, which runs until March 31st, 2025. So that's what I was talking about. Fiscal year. So it's, I guess, April. March. I do this every time, by the way. I'll be like January, February, like start counting. Like, how many months is it? It's hard to shake off.
It's like the alphabet, dude. I can't just go to S. I had A, B, C, D. Like,
I get to S by going like Q, R, S. I'm like, okay, cool, I got it. Yeah, silly. Hey, whatever. So Chris String, reminder, he is the head of Game Industry Biz, in a quote said, "No developer I've spoken to expects to be launching this financial year. In fact, they've been told not to expect it in the current fiscal year. A bunch of people he spoke to hopes it comes out in April or May time, so still early next year, not late."
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So he's essentially saying like developers right now that are developing for the Switch don't develop just yet for the Switch 2, and if you do, you need to expect a delayed launch. I
Yeah.
wonder if that's why we've seen so many AAA games that aren't coming to Switch. I wonder if they're maybe building for the new hardware of the Switch too.
Yeah.
Because you know those guys are like sworn to NDAs and stuff.
I mean, yeah, it's possible. I mean, we've also heard rumors of the Switch 2. It's not going to be anything groundbreaking in terms of power and performance. I don't think. It's
I
compared to
think it's
current
gonna,
consoles. It's going to be better than
yeah,
the Switch, obviously, but
yeah. That's
um,
what I mean.
but
That's
yeah,
what I view it as.
yeah.
Like dude, you gotta be able to, like, what's the most recent game? I think Resident Evil had really buggy graphics. It's like you gotta give me something, man. You can't
Yeah.
be giving me like 2005
What is this
graphics.
cloud streaming? What is this thing?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's go a little bit further. So Chris went ahead and continued, and I'll quote him. I don't think any of us wants a late launch for Switch 2 because we all want a new Nintendo console. Everyone gets very excited for it, and we don't want that crunch of Grand Theft Auto 6 and Switch and all that kind of stuff on top of each other. Okay, I mean, is there really going to be a
Yeah.
crunch for GTA 6 when you've been working on it for like 15 years?
Come on.
But I
No.
get what you're saying. I understand. So, article continues on. Couple more things left to mention. Having launched in March 2017, Switch is in its 8th year on the market. In July, it surpassed the Famicom as the Nintendo console with the longest lifespan before being replaced.
Hmm.
And reporting its first quarter earnings this month, Nintendo said Switch has sold 143.42 million units as of June 30th, 2024. It expects to sell 13.5 million Switch consoles this fiscal year, having sold 2.5 million in the first quarter. If Nintendo hits its hardware sales target, Switch will be within touching distance of the all-time record for
Dang.
console sales, which is currently held by PS2. I wonder if they're strategically trying to do
They're
that.
just trying to be petty and just like get the edge on Sony at the little
Yeah,
last
because
minute.
it's like that, like Nintendo and Sony's rivalry for sales has gone back forever.
Yeah,
Like forever,
possible.
dude.
It's possible.
Nobody really buys an Xbox. You know what I mean? Like you buy an Xbox, but you bought an Xbox for three different games. It was either Gears, Call of Duty, not even Call of Duty anymore, or Halo. Or
No.
unless you're the weird one that like really liked Forza or something. What's another
Yeah.
IP that only Xbox has?
I mean,
I can't think of it. Not
nothing
anymore.
like major. I mean,
No.
he's on PC now too, dude. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like
Everything's on
there's
PC
no
now.
console
So
seller right now. I don't think for Xbox anyway.
no, not for Xbox. But for PlayStation, they have a lot of console sellers
I mean,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
They have tons and tons and tons. Nintendo will always have console sellers because that's their whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it so many times on the podcast. They know what they're doing over
It's
there.
that blue ocean, maybe. Talking
Yeah,
about
oh
it.
yeah.
Blue
They're
ocean
like,
strategy.
We got Mario everything.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's wild, man. I will say it's kind of off topic, but I feel like every time I was reading June 30th, 2024. It feels like that hasn't happened yet, but then I'm like, wait, that was a month and a half ago. Like, just
Oh
like
yeah, dude.
my brain when I'm reading like these 2024 dates is just like, whoa, dude, we're here.
Yeah,
We're here,
we're
dude.
going quick. The years are
wild.
going by quick,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm
We've been
saying.
too busy, so we're gonna take a step back.
Yeah, you're telling me, dude. But listen, like,
Yeah.
I think I'm sort of surprised that the Switch is gonna be it could end up being, it's already in July was Nintendo's, longest lifespan console. It doesn't surprise me. Obviously, I think pandemic has at least a little bit to do with that. Maybe not, the whole thing, but obviously there's there was delays and everything there. So,
Yeah.
we probably would have gotten a Switch 2 this year, I feel like, if it wasn't for that. But hey,
I
we're
think you're right.
still kind of recovering from that, and getting back on track. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that unit counts running close to PS2, dude.
that's why I think it might be strategic. So
Yeah.
I kind of thought there's been a lot of hints for the last year of the Switch 2 being premiered and like shown off with the new, like bragging about the OLED stuff that happened, like different versions of the Switch and how they're working on something special for the Switch 2, all this kind of crap. And then they're like limit expectations, so it's like hype, don't hype, what's going on?
Yeah.
And the one thing that always seemed to be the trend is we would hear more information by the end of 2024. So there was never really a confirmed date, only that people were coming out and being like, "Oh, maybe we'll hear something by like Christmas or the holiday season and maybe the new year, like something like that. So to hear that it's only that we might have to wait. These are all like allegations, right? That we might have to wait until
Yeah.
April is not that big of a deal. Not really.
Yeah. No, probably not.
It's not that far away. If you think about it. Was that 6 months?
It's not, dude. That scares me. It's
Maybe.
not. It scares me, dude. Just not. Just like right
7,
there.
maybe 7.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild to see it. Yeah, I mean it's cool to see Nintendo still has like big of a footprint as it does, but also I think yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm ready for the Switch 2 at this point for sure. So it's kind of maybe wait a little longer, but we're almost there. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, dude, yeah. It was also GTA 6. There was an article I posted in our notes that we're not going to cover, but GTA 6 has an apparently leaked date. We're looking at Halloween 2025. So I'll just throw that out there for anyone who might be curious.
Everybody was excited, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna push it back." I feel like a lot of things have been getting pushed back. We heard about Avowed last week. Now we're hearing about Switch this week and GTA 6.
Nothing.
So
Pain. Nothing but pain, Mike.
yeah, it's not pain.
Still mourning Avowed, dude. I'm still mourning Avowed.
Yeah, I know you are.
It better just hit, dude.
You woke up and started saying Drake lyrics. I'm upset.
Start singing Marvin's Room, bro. I'm out here.
Yeah, facts.
Oh man. All right, Switch 2, dude. I'm ready.
Yes, sir. All right, how about we switch up gears a little bit? I'm excited for you to talk about this one because I mean, this is an awesome character. I know you're kind of passionate about it too. So,
awesome character. Is it Geralt or Geralt? How do you say it?
It's Geralt.
Geralt.
Think about it saying like a Gerald.
Yeah, but with a T.
Geralt.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like it. Geralt.
Or you could be like Northeastern or English and not pronounce your T's. Geralt.
Geralt. Oh man! All right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, The Witcher 4 stars Geralt of Rivia. Say that right? Almost messed that up. But not as a main character. What do you think? Did I get it right, Mike?
I thought you were gonna. You did it right. I thought you were gonna say you wanted to say Riviera because you're used to probably like Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
So, he's a Panthers fan.
Oh man, true. Oh,
all right,
better days.
I'll let you get into it.
Yep.
I'm gonna shut the door real quick.
Yeah. So this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Geralt of Rivia, voice actor Doug Cockle has revealed that the White Wolf will star in the next mainline Witcher game, codenamed Polaris, but not as the main character. Developer CD Projekt Red has long made clear that Geralt's saga has come to an end, meaning a new protagonist was fully expected for Polaris. But this is the first confirmation he'll be in the next game at all, and fuels some rampant fan theories. Doug Cockle, what a last name. Doug, I'm just gonna say Doug, all right? Doug didn't share any specific details about Geralt's role in Polaris in an interview with Fall Damage, but did confirm his involvement. I can't say anything about Polaris, he said. What we know is that Geralt will be a part of the game. We just don't know how much, and the game won't focus on Geralt. It's not about him this time. We don't know who it's about. I'm excited to find out. I want to know. I have not seen any script yet. I mean, I couldn't tell you if I did. This is the thing. So I could be lying through my teeth, but I'm not. Or am I? He's really playing with the media here a lot. Yeah, see this thing. The good voice actors and just the good actors in general, like they're working on something. They do a great job of not, showing their cards, right? So it's kind of like, Oh, okay. Spoiler warning, dude. This is the thing, dude. Do I want to read this, Mike? I still got to play through Witcher 3.
Okay, hold on.
No, dude.
Hold on.
I don't know, dude.
You got to play through it? You don't know? I mean, if you've read the books, you kind of know what's up.
Yeah, no. I didn't read the books, though. Listen, I'll probably still play the game.
The game came out in 2015.
It's still a masterpiece, all right? Like, I'm going to play it regardless of what if I know
9 years ago.
If I know a couple plot points. I don't think it's that big of a deal. All right, so only a single teaser image has otherwise been revealed for Polaris, but it was enough to fan the fire of fan theories, which believe Ciri would be the next mainline Witcher game's protagonist. What's considered the true ending of Witcher 3, thanks to its story being continued in comics considered canon, CD Projekt Red universe, sees her becoming Witcher herself. The teaser image also showed a medallion of a lynx, and while this is a brand new Witcher school, not mentioned previously in the books, games, comics, or wherever else, Ciri wore a school of the cat medallion in the books, and its philosophy matches her nimble fighting style. Link's medallion being a combination of this and her wilder school of Wolfside, as she was raised by the members of Geralt, Visimir, and so on. Hopefully I said that name right. Could make a lot of sense. In fact, Doug himself told IGN in December 23 this was the best theory he's heard, though this was before he knew about starring in it himself. Geralt's being featured in Polaris as a side character perhaps lends itself to this theory too, because just as the final quest of Witcher 3 sees him give Ciri her sword, it would make sense for her to have a mentor character in some areas of the new game. Maybe Geralt's is the new Visimir, said Mark the Shark 124 on Reddit. We're getting our sources from Reddit. Oh, dude, I love that. They're just like, this guy on Reddit said. That's
that's typical. That's typical journalism. I mean,
especially IGN, dude. They're so like, they do it all the time.
They do. I love it. So many content creators do that too. Look at this Twitter post. Somebody that is completely unaffiliated, unverified, because that doesn't mean anything.
Who's had some traction in the past.
With like 20 followers.
Yeah.
Got it right one time, so now they're reliable.
He was probably a blind guess, but hey, I trust him.
Exactly.
At the very least, confirmation draws in the game somewhat debunks fan theories for a prequel to the original Witcher saga, taking place decades, if not centuries earlier when the Witcher schools were at the height of prominence. They and Witchers themselves are dwindling during the events of the original saga. It will likely be a while before more information on Polaris emerges, though it is the main project being worked on at CD Projekt Red. Developer hasn't revealed anything else, only that it will emphasize freedom and intense gameplay. Honestly, we read all that stuff. I don't understand half of that stuff anyway in terms of spoilers, at least for me, somebody who hasn't played the game, so I think we're good. But it may make, if I remember it when I'm playing, so be it. But yeah, I don't know, Mike. What do you think? I think it's fascinating. It seems like it could be a fascinating story to kind of continue things and to have, the main guy still in it in some form or fashion. I think could help people get back into it and, get invested again.
Yeah, I think The Witcher 3 was probably one of the best, single story games. I don't want to say of all time, but it was so good that's like, how could you possibly up that? Like, what do you do differently? Bar, yeah, because it's such a high bar, and it's been 9 years. CD Projekt Red knows how to write stories, and I don't know. I'm not too worried about like who the protagonist is or who the main character is. I trust the studio to do something that they care about.
Yeah, like story-wise, for sure.
Yeah, in terms of story-wise and being like the continuity should be good. They're kind of obsessed about how long they can make a game, how much content they can have in a game.
Yeah.
But as long as they have like a good substance, that could be good. Now, if they do have the typical like strong female protagonist, it's going to be interesting. Like, what kind of protagonist is it going to be?
Right.
Are we gonna look at like Lord of the Rings and it's gonna be Galadriel from Rings of Power? Because that to me isn't a good strong female protagonist like at all. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's gonna be a very interesting thing to watch. It would be really cool if it was I don't know. Like I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones content on YouTube on Shorts. And you've watched it, right? Please tell me you have. Nope, he hasn't.
Oh,
so
no.
There's this one character, Arya Stark, who basically has like her whole life ripped from her. She's like a daughter of a high lord up in a northern realm, kind of thing, is the way to describe it. Northern territory is in foreign lands, completely abandoned, almost like an orphan. Basically, literally becomes an orphan, and has to fight her way through trouble to like go through all of this, like the classic, what's it called? I mean, it's not a trope. It's a theme that's used in like to tell stories. Archetype, the classic archetype of somebody that's given everything, takes it for granted, has it all ripped away from them, and then builds it back up.
Okay.
And like becomes like a reformed person. I like those kind of stories, regardless of like male or female kind of lead. But it'll be very interesting to see what comes out of The Witcher 4. I do like the idea, the prequel though, that the fans were theorizing over.
Yeah.
But I also like this idea of maybe Geralt like passing on the torch to another character.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
and
I like
then
that.
it goes into a different realm of possibilities.
Yeah.
It just has to be authentic.
Yeah.
It can be dicey, man. It could like divide a fan base.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it sets a high bar of third game, right? So
It
it's like
does.
fourth game is like, oh,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I
Fourth
think
game, it
both.
usually starts going down.
Yeah, I mean,
That seems to be the trend.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, hopefully not for Witcher, but I think either path could be done well.
Yeah.
I think my faith in CD Projekt Red, I think from a development standpoint too, was kind of redeemed with the redemption of Cyberpunk and them like
That heck of a
revamping their
redemption.
studio and kind of just redoing things and going back from ground zero kind of thing and just rebuilding it. So that gets me excited. I think from a development standpoint, it's like, okay, we have a good process now. Hopefully that'll serve Polaris well. So yeah, there's certainly excitement there. But also like, I gotta play these games, dude, especially 3. I need to find out too. Do I need to play 1 and 2 to understand 3? That's the big question too, because I know the first 2 games are pretty old. So do I need to muscle through those to enjoy 3? And that's what I need to figure out.
You do not.
Okay.
I know that because I did that.
Oh, okay. I bet.
So you can do a couple of things because the game's been out for so long. This goes for anybody that wants to get into The Witcher. One, you could kind of watch the TV show and watch like the first 2 seasons and kind of understand what's happening because it kind of follows The Witcher 3. But if you do it that way, you also need to know the context of the world that you live in. Like, what is a Witcher?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah.
Like, what's going on? You can go into like YouTube, like,
Yeah,
and
just watch
they'll do breakdowns.
I was gonna say,
Well,
just watch
honestly,
lore videos.
I would literally watch a lore video of like the book breakdowns, and then watch a recap video of the original trilogy of the games.
Yeah.
And just you'll get all the information you need, and then that way you can go into like The Witcher 3 and understand everything that's happening. And I think if you know the lore, things are like you have the added not incentive, but you have like more equity put into it.
Yeah. Yeah, more investment.
So yeah, investments. Yeah, that's the correct word. But
yeah,
I would recommend it. Check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. Lately, I've been kind of like I wanted like I've never really been like into fantasy, but like I don't know, just like I don't know if it's like just like art I've seen recently or just something like that. But just like thinking about like getting into, I just think I was like fantasizing the other day about like a fantasy kind of universe, right? And just like I don't know, it's like it made me want to like start watching I finally want to watch Lord of the Rings movies, like get into that kind of like old like fantasy kind of stuff. So
yeah, man,
there's something special
it's
about
called it's called getting older. That's just what happens to you. Something happens when you turn like about 26, 27. All of a sudden you're just like, you know what? I want to grow a really long beard and I want to have a staff, and I want to get really into saving the hobbits. That's what I want to do.
Did you say when the frontal lobe is fully there? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, when it's fully developed, dude. I think you're fully developed when you turn 27, right?
Yeah, it's like 26, I think. On there.
Oh yeah.
Say I'm
Yeah.
I'm fully developed, dude.
Yeah. Once you get there, dude, it's over. It's over. You're gonna be reading The Hobbit in no time.
I have started reading more this past year, dude. It's kind of crazy.
Yep. That's how it happens. Next thing you know, you're gonna be married with kids. It's gonna be crazy.
Can't wait, dude. Can't wait, dude. So excited. Listen, kind of excited. Well, I don't know. I don't know about excited, but I'm starting to be optimistic about Unity, I think. A little bit.
Yeah. The redemption arc is probably what we should be calling this. So Unity, and I'm sure this article is actually going to give us a quick little recap of what the heck happened to them. But basically, if you remember, Unity is the development platform. And about, 2 years ago? It had to be 2 years ago. They decided to raise their rates.
It was last year.
Was it last year? Dude, I don't know.
I think so. It wasn't that long. I know it wasn't 2 years ago.
Okay, so we'll say that. Within the last year.
I like that.
Way different than 2 years, but whatever. Within the last year, they decided to raise their rates on how they charge their developers, their customers, their clients that are developers to make games on their platform.
Make money off that, baby.
Yeah, make money off of it. They decided to take a bigger cut, and it was kind of really destroying the indie dev scene. It got to the point where the indie devs had zero incentive to be on Unity whatsoever. There was a massive backlash of basically gamers in general saying like, what are you doing? You're being greedy. You're not even like using the platform. You're not developing these games, that kind of stuff. It got out of hand. they fired their CEO, or well, they kind of pushed their CEO out of the
Yeah.
gate because he was the front leaning guy that
Yeah, I think he
was
kind of
all
resigned.
bullish.
He's just gonna like,
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
he was the one leading the charge to raise the rates. So we have some developing news, and this goes into their new CEO, Matthew Bromberg. The title of the article is Unity CEO strives for execution and accountability. Oh baby, let's get into the PR stuff. First of all,
Oh,
this is from GamesBeat or VentureBeat. We actually haven't covered this platform before, which is interesting. So,
Venture
first
Beat, dude.
take.
Remember
This
Venture
is
Beat?
by, yep, and this is by Dean Takahashi. Love that last name, dude.
Takahashi, I love it.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the article. So it starts off by saying the previous CEO of game engine maker Unity didn't exit on the best terms. John Riccitiello or whatever, sorry,
Sorry about that.
resigned after an ill-fated pricing battle. Game developers revolted on a scale unseen in modern game development history. Sheesh. Matthew Bromberg joined as CEO about 90 days ago. I think that's like what, March, something like that. May, maybe.
Yeah.
The executive team has shuffled. So he brought like a whole new team in as well. So in his first earnings call, Bromberg told investors he would try to create a culture of execution and accountability. Unity reported it had a small improvement in its Q2 adjusted earnings and stock price climbed a bit. So far, so good. And for sure, it could have been worse. So Mr. Dean Takahashi said that he had a chance to talk with Bromberg about his plans in his first few months in office, and he told him he was going around meeting staff and customers in listening mode, which is a very smart thing to do if you just join a
Alright,
company.
okay.
Good leadership skill. So this is what he said, Bromberg, that is. We could be better partners. We could produce more stable products. We could deliver more value. That's what was inspiring me about the opportunity. Now, continuing on with the article. Well, Unity has parted ways with 2,400 employees since its peak, but it still has about 5,000 employees alongside Epic Games' Unreal Engine. It remains one of the most important game development platforms. And while competition with Epic is serious, as Epic can finance its engine with Fortnite revenues, there's a new breed of competition in the form of open source game engines like Godot. I've actually heard of this and I've seen people use it. It
Yeah.
looks really intuitive and really cool that it's open source.
Yeah.
But this fall, Unity will formally launch its latest version of its game engine, Unity 6, and it will tackle AI. So Dean talked with Bromberg about these topics and more. Here's an editorial transcript of the interview. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just read this kind of word for word until we get to the first little bit, and then we can stop to discuss. Sound good?
Sounds good.
So, GamesBeat, which is Dean. How long have you been at Unity? Matthew says, it's been 90 days. I have it all figured out. Okay,
It's that
he's
easy,
being funny.
baby. Let's go.
Game Beat goes on. You called for a culture of more accountability and execution. How do you look back in hindsight at some things that Unity has not gotten right, things that need to be addressed or fixed? So Bromberg replies with, I come to this experience as a customer first, a customer of Unity. My excitement about it comes from a place of understanding what is great and foundational about Unity. But there's also a sense I had as a customer, and that I think some of the other customers shared, that we could do better for customers. We could be better partners. We could produce more stable products. We could deliver more value. That's what was inspiring me for this opportunity. Unity is such an important company. We are excited about bringing it back and where it should be. So, GamesBeat goes on to say, do you look back on the runtime fee controversy as part of the problem? So, the runtime fee controversy was when I'm pretty sure if you made like a certain amount of money, then you would have to pay more
Yeah.
to Unity if it became successful,
Yeah,
which is why
exactly.
like indie devs are like, I don't want to sign up for this at all.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like,
already taking a gamble.
you know, it's like I already don't know if it's gonna work, but if it works, y'all get more money. Like, huh?
Yeah,
So
it's like you're gonna punish me for success. That's kind of
yeah.
wild. So Bromberg goes ahead and says, it's certainly an example of us getting sideways with customers. It's okay to take tough decisions, but it's really important to listen and understand how your customers want to buy from you. What kind of partnership do they want? That's important. In my conversations with customers, they're generally not saying that they're not okay with paying more. They want you to be strong and they understand the level of investment that's required to make a great game engine. But I'm not sure we've always heard them as clearly as we could about how they wanted to do that. You know, it's actually kind of wild, man. I don't know if you feel this way too, but if you mess up this badly while there's an open source game like engine out there that anybody can use that's pretty well known, that takes guts, especially because like it's stupidity in terms of guts. Especially because you could go over to like Epic Games and use Unreal Engine, and that's a really good engine to build games too. Like, how can you justify that? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, it just wasn't a smart decision, that's for sure. I mean,
No, not
it's
even
just
the like the slightest.
it's yeah, it makes you wonder what they're thinking in those moments, and like that's when you know, like at a certain point, you're just out of touch, and you're just like, oh, money, all right, cool, and then
Yeah.
you're not
How much can we
actually
rip
like,
off?
yeah, and so you're not actually thinking about like the livelihoods and like people wanting to get into games and like make a living off of it, and like some people just and like it gets to a certain point where it's like I mean, you just can't make like you can't do well. Like if my game pops off and I reach a certain level, it's just like I'm literally just making nothing, and it's not sustainable. So yeah, I mean, it just shows you kind of how how deep in the hole I think the management was. Just a year ago. So
Yeah, like groupthink or whatever they talk about in business school. That
yeah,
definitely happened. Like, this seems like a good idea. You don't even use the product. Why are you making these decisions?
bro, I will say though, Ferocious, this new shooter coming to Unity, they have a little screenshot in the article. It looks pretty sick. Just in the screenshot, it's
It
like, okay,
does.
this looks like a modern day like shooter. It looks good.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's another one a little bit further to the next little segment too. But let's see if we can jump around a little bit,
Yeah,
make it to the next little graphic. And then there's one question I want to mention about AI, and we can kind of finish out the article because this is a very long piece. It's their full
very long
transcript
interview.
of the interview, so I don't want to bore everybody, but I just want to give you a sense of who Bromberg is. So GamesBeat goes on to say, some level of certainty about how much they would be paying is important. So Bromberg says, right, nobody wants to be unclear about what they're going to owe you and how that's going to work. You can't have unbounded things in your business. Nobody would like that. I certainly wouldn't. So GameSpeed says, do you feel like that's on the right path now? Are customers generally happy with the ultimate solution that Uni came up with? So Bromberg says, that's one of the first things I've been focused on in the last 90 days. I've been out speaking to lots of customers. I'm trying to get a feel for where they are on it. I'm not sure we've completed the analysis yet, but we're definitely listening. So GamesBeat says, I noticed you did better in the last quarter. That seems like a step in the positive direction. Do you think some of that is due to the pricing change that resulted? Oh, this is an interesting take. So he says, no, I don't think so. We're happy about the quarter and thank you for that. But our pricing changes tend to roll into the business much later. They tend to follow adoption cycles. People need to build on the new version. The impact of our pricing changes tends to be way downstream. Interesting. I thought it would have been more immediate.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's
it's
interesting.
yeah, it's an interesting take for sure. I mean, I think there's
Yeah.
I would think it does make sense though to a certain extent. Like
Oh
just
yeah, for sure. I just never would have thought about it.
yeah, that's something like my but yeah, I don't have the business brain for that, so it's like
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like, oh, okay, yeah.
it's like that
That's why
makes
he's
sense.
that's why he's the CEO. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So GamesBeat comes in a little bit further and starts saying, we've seen Unity's business expand into so many things. Can you go back and explain all that? So Bromberg basically breaks it down. He says, our business is really pretty straightforward. We want to be what we think is the only company in the world that's capable of supporting the entire game development cycle. Prototyping through builds, through live service, and into user acquisition and monetization. That's what we do. We also sell our core technology to industry customers, primarily around those that are interested in the visualization of 3D assets. That's the business of Unity. Remember that game that was built entirely on 3D assets? Do you remember seeing that video? I gotta show it to you,
Think so.
man. Aspen Gold was watching it. It was like 45 minutes long, and it was just this guy's analysis of a game that has yet to release. And the trailer was just all 3D assets. And it was
Hmm.
developed by one guy basically scamming a bunch of people into buying pre-orders for the game.
But
It was
don't think
it
I've
was
seen that.
actually crazy. He made a bunch of money off of it too. Not the guy that made the video, but the guy that like was making the game
Yeah, right.
or the fake game. Yeah. All right. So GameBeat says there's the division between create and grow. So Bromberg gives a little bit more context. He says, yeah, create is the engine, grow is the added monetization piece. One thing that we're realizing, and certainly one of the things we're focusing on, is the extent to which those businesses are unified in the mind of the customer. As someone who's made a lot of mobile games in particular, it's a holistic view you have to take. You build the game, you design systems, the game operates, you acquire players, you try to sell advertising. That's one process. It might be two divisions for us, but the customer wants it to be together. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point.
Yeah.
He seems very customer minded, which is what you should be.
Yeah.
So
True. Should be a
I think
leader.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think if you could put it all in one place, yeah, I mean, people are gonna love that. So for sure, dude.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think there's one question here that I do want to like kind of add in because on our podcast we've talked about AI and a bunch of stuff for AI and how it's going to take people's jobs, especially in the gaming industry. Like there's AI generated voice acting now and AI
Yeah.
generated dialogue, all this written content, and I'm curious what the answer is to this question. So GamesBeat Dean wrote, as far as seeing how extensively generative AI is going to affect game development, what's the assessment right now? So Bromberg says, from an AI perspective, our focus is going to be on how we can help customers make games more efficiently and less expensively. Again, having done that for a living, that's the real pain point that the game developers have. We are uniquely positioned to be able to help there by way of obfuscating.
Obfuscating. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, obfuscating some of the complexity in our engine and in the process in general. It's difficult to make games. We think AI can help that. So Bromberg is a little less focused on generative AI right now for a simple reason. The Unity platform is agnostic to the derivation of 3D asset. It can be created in AI. It can be created more traditionally. When you make games, you ingest your assets into the engine and then you start building. We are interested in that moment and everything that comes after. So I think that's kind of an interesting thing that I just wanted to bring up. But this interview goes long ways.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool though. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think it's cool too. I think the idea of AI is like true. AI is definitely scary to a certain extent, but also like, especially in its current state, it could be a valuable asset and it could possibly help like speed things along, you know? I think that's like the most powerful way to use AI. Obviously, like AI voice acted lines and stuff like that, it's just like that, like I'm not a huge fan of. And I mean, sure it's quick and easy, but it's just like not genuine, I feel like. So
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't want to see something like that, but like, especially like an art aspect, like to be able to create specific generic assets that are used a lot throughout the game or something like that. You could certainly speed up the process and build worlds much quicker if it's just like, you know, you're able to just generate that stuff a lot faster and kind of get stuff off the ground quicker in that regard. So I mean, I think it's one instance of AI that could be useful. And so I mean, I agree with him to a certain extent. It's like there's certainly processes that could be sped up, and so why not take advantage of that with something like AI? Because I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like the idea of AI replacing jobs per se, but I think stuff like
Same.
that, if you can like make the process quicker and potentially cheaper because you're not having to spend as much time, like, I mean,
Then we
studios will
never
love
have to
that.
raise game prices.
I mean, yeah, consumers get games quicker. It's not as much upfront to cost. Like, I think there could be a lot of benefit in that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm all for that. I think it's a good way of looking at AI, at least in the current state. So, I like it.
Yeah. I think one more thing to kind of understand and just give context for anybody that's never even heard of Unity and they're just like, oh, what's a game development like platform? It's where you make the games, obviously. I think you got the context if you listen all the way through so far. But the most popular games that were made using Unity were like the Untitled Goose Game, Fall Guys, Among Us, Cuphead, Subnautica, Hollow Knight, and The Forest. So it's not that like those are pretty big titles.
Yeah.
I think everybody has heard at least maybe two of them.
Yeah.
I would guess. I've heard of all of them.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of surprised at Cuphead. I didn't realize that was Unity.
Oh yeah,
But it's like the thing
yeah.
is like
That's
all
one
the
of the things
assets are
why
hand
I wanted to
drawn and
mention it.
like there was
Yeah,
so much time put into that. and then realize that it's all ran behind Unity. It's like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But that's basically what he's saying, right? Because it's like we're kind of agnostic to the use of AI within the platform. It's like you guys build the assets and import it into the program. You can do whatever you want with it. Where do you
Yeah.
build the assets, or is like up to you, or you can do it within us, or you can like upload it yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if
Yeah.
you know, if anyone sees kind of the game development life cycles and kind of the processes that some studios do, I mean, there's so many programs utilized throughout a studio, like just writing dialogue is its own thing, and like that's its own program, and importing it into the engine and kind of incorporating it with 3D assets, and there could be 6 or 7 different programs being utilized in a stack to make the game what it is, and Unity's just a piece of that. But I think also too, it's like to a certain extent, like yeah, like it'd be cool if Unity was kind of all one thing. But I mean, it could be a lot of upkeep, and it could be like a jack of all trades scenario where it's like nothing's really amazing, but it's kind of just like, and there's obviously missing features and stuff like that. I'm sure if they really try to go for everything, but yeah, I mean, I think another game on Unity that I believe it was Unity was some of the Life is Strange games, like not the original Life is Strange, but like I know like kind of the Before the Storm like prequel was made in Unity. I can't remember if 2 may have been Unreal Engine, but those are some games too. I remember it's like I played the first one that was Unreal Engine, it looked great. Then I played the second one on Unity, and I was like, oh yeah, this game still looks really good. It was made on like a totally different engine. So yeah, it's awesome to see Unity utilize more, and hopefully hopefully it does grow and doesn't gouge its customers and clients. That'd be nice.
It seems. I mean, this is such a short interview that we covered so far out of a very long transcript. Seems like he might be an alright dude. He seems like he has a pulse on the industry at least.
Yeah, I think I think he's taken a huge emphasis on customers, which is
intelligent. Yeah,
which is a smart move, especially after the kind of backlash you've gotten over the past year. It's a good way to go about it. It's just like, all right, let me just like first and foremost, before I even do anything with the company, let me just go to the customer and see what they think.
That's exactly what you should do, to be honest.
Yeah. So yeah,
all right.
Well, I like it.
All right, how about you? I mean, not that that's like a bad story, but how about you kind of finish this off with a little bit of not a heartfelt story, but just like a nice little sweet story of what's going on with Hi-Fi Rush.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to report. It's just put one up. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? Hi-Fi Rush Studio, shut down by Microsoft, is being saved by PUBG's publisher. Let's go! All right.
Let's go, baby.
Tango Gameworks will live on thanks to Krafton. It's coming from McWhirter over at Polygon. Ooh, we haven't covered a Polygon article in a while, so here we go.
It's been a century.
That's what it feels like. Oh, man.
It's been a long time, man.
All right, Michael, let's see what you got. So, Krafton, the publisher behind PUBG Battlegrounds and the Callisto Protocol, has acquired Tango Gameworks, the studio responsible for the Evil Within games and Hi-Fi Rush. Tango was shuttered by Microsoft and ZeniMax Media in May, but the talent who formed the Tokyo-based studio will be integrated into Krafton, which now owns the rights to Hi-Fi Rush. In a news release, Krafton said it, quote, intends to collaborate with Xbox and ZeniMax to ensure a smooth transition and maintain continuity at Tango Gameworks, allowing the talented team to continue developing the Hi-Fi Rush IP and explore future projects. Krafton added that it, quote, intends to support the Tango Gameworks team to continue its commitment to innovation and delivering fresh and exciting experiences for fans. On X, Tango Gameworks creative director John Johannes said, we're back, baby. Move from Microsoft to Krafton will not impact Tango's existing game catalog, which includes The Evil Within, Evil Within 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, and the original Hi-Fi Rush, the publisher said. Hi-Fi Rush is playable on PS5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X. Tango Gameworks was founded in 2010 by Shinji Mikami. The studio's first release, The Evil Within, was a survival horror game in the vein of Mikami's work at Capcom, where he was overseeing survival horror games Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, and Resident Evil 4 as game director. Tango Gameworks became part of Xbox's stable of studios when ZeniMax was acquired by Microsoft in 2021. Mikami left Tango in 2023. The studio found great critical success with Hi-Fi Rush in 2023. The rhythm action game was a surprise release to Microsoft's Game Pass subscription and markedly different from the dark and violent Tango Gameworks has come to be known for. Krafton's announcement comes just days after former developers from Arcane Austin which worked on in-games Prey and Dishonored, announced a new first-person action RPG at its Wolf Eye studio. Microsoft announced in May that it planned to close 3 studios under the Bethesda Softworks umbrella: Redfall developer Arcane, Mighty Doom developer Alpha Dog, and Tango Gameworks. A 4th studio, Roundhouse Games, had its staff reassigned to other duties. Oh, we're so back, Mike. We're so back. We're so back, dude. Love
I think it's pretty sick.
Yeah, dude, I love that for these guys. I think that's awesome. Just the fact that, like, someone was able to come by and, like, look, there's so much talent and money and ideas and IPs to be had here. Like, it's a shame. Why not we just step in and, hey, we already got Callisto Protocol out there, which, by the way, technically was a very impressive game. I feel like story-wise, kind of got average reviews, but
yeah,
I think, like, one thing I will say about Callisto Protocol is, like, the facial animations was, like, next level. Like, it was crazy how accurate, like, the facial animations and everything were, especially with dialogue and cutscenes. So that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that, they're just like, let's save Tango, because, like, why not? And there's definitely a lot of benefit to the studio, a lot of juice that's still left to be squeezed. So yeah, I'm just super happy for them. This is awesome.
I think it's very cool. You know what I like most about it is there was about a bit of outrage that came about when the announcement of the Hi-Fi Rush Tango Studios ended up, like, they were like, we got to cancel all production whatsoever, move everybody away from the game. Hi-Fi Rush 2 isn't going to happen. And then just to see this news that they're being acquired and the studio is going to live on, there's going to be multiple sequels coming out of the studio now. It's really cool. I'm like, it's just a good news article, just to be excited about.
Yeah, really
Like,
is.
I remember what did Microsoft do? They just started, like, laying off people. They were like, okay, we're going to shutter Tango Studios, and everybody's like, why are you getting rid of Tango Gameworks? Why are you getting rid of the one developer that made a good game?
No,
And
it was
they
the
kept
biggest
on the
head scratcher.
Redfall. Yeah, they kept on the Redfall developer.
Yeah, it's the biggest head scratcher, right? I mean, it really makes sense, and yeah, it's these redemption arcs. It's these closures that you just you live for in the gaming news world. Just like to see stuff like this. It's like, yeah, it's awesome. It makes you wonder how much involvement maybe someone like John, at the studio had to, like, try and possibly, like, just pitch, to different studios and be like, hey, like, we still have, like, we have this proven track record. We have so much more to do.
Talent.
We have the people, like, we could make a studio or a publisher so much money. like it's just all here. Like, it makes me wonder how involved members of the studio were to try and just pitch to other places and be like, look, we got something here. We already have the office space. Like, we can make this work if you're just willing to, invest in us. And I feel like it'd be a no brainer to sign someone, a studio like this when they just have the track record, the people, and you just know they can do something good. So.
I wonder, like, it just seems so out of pocket too, because it's like, so if Microsoft was willing to sell the IP in the studios, or the studio and the IPs, why didn't they do that initially? Why did they just, like, say, let's get rid of them altogether?
It's true, yeah. It almost seemed like not an option, right? Especially when Xbox got rid of them.
It seemed like not an option. They're just like, let's get rid of them. But I bet you the outrage that happened online, probably got to the right people at Microsoft, where they're like, maybe we should just sell it and let these guys go for free.
Yeah, maybe,
like,
I don't know.
Not for free, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Be free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't add up. I wonder if there's gonna be any information that ends up developing out of this.
Yeah, I'd love to hear the whole backstory, dude. If we got, like, a no clip documentary on this, are you kidding me, dude?
Oh, that'd be kind of
something like that. The story of this. Oh man, it'd be insane, dude. I'd love to see the behind the scenes of this. Of, like, for me, like, 6 months from now, we see, like, a documentary. It opens up with, like, May 2023, and then it shows all the new stuff, and then see the studio freaking out, and then all of a sudden it just develops August 2023, and over the course of those 3 months, it's just like people on phones, people, like, calling up Xbox, like, Twitter, people going crazy, dude. The storyline,
like freaking HBO Hard Knocks.
Oh, it'd be so insane. I'd love to see something like that. But no, I mean, I think just getting any more information on this, dude, I'd be, like, all over it. Just be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting story. I agree. It's something I didn't it's something probably nobody saw coming. Of just like,
No,
you feel like
shut
when
up.
Xbox like kills a studio like that, it's like you feel like they don't have a chance to come back. It's just like that's it. But
Yeah, I
but
mean
yeah,
that's how
or
I've
like,
always
or you
felt.
would think like they would have to start a new studio entirely if they really want to do something under a different name. Like they couldn't use that same IP, but
That's a good point.
evidently,
Yeah,
evidently,
that's
here we
usually
are.
how it goes. Yeah, it's just like we own this forever now. By
Yeah,
the way, we're closing everything now.
yeah, yeah. No, it's how you
Yeah,
think it is, but apparently not. Apparently not. Let's go Tango Gameworks, dude.
Tango
Happy for
Gameworks. All
y'all,
right, cool,
man.
dope.
Uh, cool stuff, dude. Cool stuff.
All right, bro. Well, I think that's pretty much it for this week's episodes.
This
Went
week's
over,
articles, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I've been speaking wrong like all day. I think my brain's kind of fried. I've been
This guy's
drinking a lot of
good.
energy drinks because I'm tired, but
This guy's
yeah,
cooked.
I think it's starting to show.
Oh man,
But hey, man, you gonna be playing any games this weekend?
I gotta work on Flintlock, dude. I gotta get good. I just gotta get good,
Yeah.
dude. It's that simple. So,
Well,
yeah.
the good. Yeah, I'll probably. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I want to play more games, but I like also want to play the existing games that I've been playing forever. That's the problem. I want to play games that I'm comfortable
This
with,
thing, dude.
but I also want to try new things. Like Unchained, I gotta play Unchained. One of my buddies actually texted me. Usually he hits me up on Discord, but because he has my actual number, he texts me. He goes, "Yo, I'm still waiting on that invite for Unchained."
Gotta
It's
make it
like,
happen,
oh
dude.
shoot, yeah.
Yeah.
I might just ping everybody and see who might be interested in the Discord.
Yeah,
So
yeah, dude.
get some people. Yeah.
Biggest piece of advice, dude. Just don't overthink it, dude. Play what you want. Is what it is, dude. It's your
Yeah,
choice. It's your
that's true.
choice.
That's true. Right now, I'm just excited about the Halo 2 LAN anniversary
Oh yeah.
coming up in Vegas.
A lot
Just
to be
being
hyped
excited
about.
about
Dude.
that.
A lot to be hyped about.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. I'm definitely gonna be checking that out. I want to watch that. I need to see how that production is. I gotta see it.
It's gonna be good. The last one
So
was actually pretty strong quality.
yeah.
They did well. It was an invite only, like LAN event. I should have went. It was in February,
Oh
and it was
well.
just like a small little thing that they set up. They're testing out a different venue to see if it makes sense to do it there.
Yeah.
And just the price got out of control. They were doing it at the HyperX, at the Linux, or not Linux, Luxor,
Oh yeah.
the big pyramid.
the pyramid,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think they had like less than 30 people there or something like
Mm.
that. They were having a great time, but the problem was is we start telling them it's like okay, 32 team tournament, 160 people are gonna be playing FFAs. Like that's a lot
Oh
of people plus spectators.
yeah.
The arena could handle it, but to rent it out would have cost so much money. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
man.
can see the cost creeping up quick, but yeah, dude.
Yes, sir.
It's exciting to see, after so much just interesting Halo content over the past couple of years. Just like let's just go back to the roots, dude. Because it's where the
That's
good
literally
stuff
what's
is.
going
So
on. So many people. So the servers broke. Like the last major was like 4 weeks ago, and the servers were broken for 3 weeks. Like
jeez.
it was bad. They sent an update. It was completely unusable. So people that were playing Halo Infinite stopped playing Halo Infinite, and then they went back to Halo Master Chief Collection to play Halo 3.
Yeah.
And then hackers in Master Chief Collection found out that they can take control of your character now and make it so you drop your guns
Dude.
and can't
What?
do anything.
Uh,
Yeah. So like two different platforms for Halo imploded, and the absolute goobers that are the Halo 2 guys had been playing on Cartographer, which is like the Halo 2 Vista port, and playing on the OG Xbox the entire 3 weeks. And I've actually seen people start doing private lobbies now to do Halo 3 games. So it's like people are done with the BS
um,
and they're going back to just what they enjoy.
yeah.
It's like
For sure.
maybe Infinite will be good again. We'll see.
Yeah, who knows,
What
dude?
I'm most excited for is I know 343 and Microsoft is a little bit involved for the tournament,
Oh, really?
and yeah, and I'm really curious how that's gonna go about because they're gonna do some promo stuff. It's probably gonna be a big deal. It's gonna be a lot of sponsorship stuff. I don't know all the information because it hasn't been released publicly, but if they can do a good job and kind of, I'm not saying it's going to compete with HCS tournaments because that'd be ridiculous, but I do want to say it's like if you could show people that you don't need to be on the modern title to have a proper tournament, like not the modern title, but like the most recent title to have a proper tournament, then you should stay on that title. Like there's a reason why people still play Smash. That game is like 20 years old too.
Yeah.
And
Dude.
it's one of the most popular fighter games. It's like there's so many Super Smash Bros. Games that have come out, but everybody loves Melee.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's just that nuance, dude. Melee's kind of like Halo
is.
2, dude. It's got that nuance. It's got that
It
edge.
does.
It's got that
It
just
does.
like something about it that you can't replicate. So
Yeah.
it is.
I always considered Halo 2 to be like a happy mistake because like all the glitches and stuff, they built the game in a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they rushed through it. You talk
Yeah.
about crunch
Even
nowadays.
back then, that's
they're on it.
no time. It's like
No, it was insane back then. And
like,
it's like
yeah,
it's a
it's like-
jumbled mess. It's
Yeah.
completely ridiculous.
yeah. It was like
But-
it reminds me of Fallout New Vegas. I think it was 18 months that game was made. It was a mess when it came out. There was
Yeah.
so many bugs, dude, because they just couldn't fix it all. So
It's all right. It's okay.
that's what made the game great, though, dude. It's just
It
funny.
really is.
It's funny. It's funny how it works, man. Yeah, I'm excited to see see how
Yeah.
that looks. Yeah, it looks like everyone's excited too in the Halo community. So good to see.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see. But in the meantime, I think I'm gonna watch Shroud play his new game, Spectre Divide. His little
Mm.
interesting teleportation game I think he has. Not really sure
Okay,
exactly
okay.
what it is, but it looks interesting. So Yeah.
Very, very interesting, yeah, dude. Yeah.
yeah, do you have anything to add for the peoples before we let them go?
Nah, dude, try and find something to play. That's all I'll say. You know, try and
Yeah,
find something to play.
find
And that's a bit of
find
a
some passion, dude.
that's a drought right now, but hey, I'll find
Yeah.
something to play until the
Yeah,
fall
you know what
hits.
YouTube added? YouTube started adding play here flash games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, have you seen this yet? Oh
Nah.
yeah, I've been having fun on it. It's actually pretty sick.
That
Little
was probably the
flash
thing
games and
That was a
stuff.
thing I feel like we covered months ago, but I couldn't find it in the app, so I don't know. I
Really?
don't know,
They-
dude.
You might need to get premium, but you have premium, right?
I do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh.
where it is.
Weird.
I'll have to find
All
it
right. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe, please.
down there.
Shout out.
Subscribe. See, if I say subscribe, the little button down there is gonna twinkle and color. And if you're not subscribed, that is.
Oh yeah, facts.
Yeah, and weird YouTube AI. It's pretty sick. If I say like
It
the
is pretty
video, I think even the like button like sparkles. It's weird.
That's so sick.
Man.
Yeah, I actually haven't noticed that,
Well,
to be honest.
I'm telling you, if you ever watch, especially on mobile and like vertical, and
Yeah.
you don't full screen it, and you hear someone say subscribe, you'll see if you're not subscribed, you'll see the subscribe button like light up. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So
YouTube's next level with that. It's wild.
I did not. I did. Maybe I've seen that. Just didn't even notice. It's like subliminal messaging.
Yeah,
Kind of.
it's No, it's a thing, dude. Pay attention to it. Next time you hear a video, subscribe. Like go vertical and see if it sparkles.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna pay attention to that. That's crazy.
It's wild.
All right. You just tripped me out. But hey, I gotta go eat. It's kind of late.
Yep.
Let's let the people go. We'll do a quick little recap for anybody. If you want to check out any of the articles below, we have links down below with timestamps. When we cover the segment, we push out segments. Need to do that from last week's episode. We'll do that for this week's episode, probably at the same time.
Probably some this weekend. One sprinkled on a Saturday
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, exactly. Got to catch up. We appreciate everybody for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. We'll see you next week. I'm Michael Enty. This is KyleHeath, and this has been the M2 Podcast. We appreciate you guys for coming in, and again, see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
EPL starts this weekend, by the way. So have
Hey,
fun. We're in the
hey,
Everton
hey, Everton.
Yes, sir.
No. I don't know the chant.
I appreciate the thought. All right, keep gaming, everybody. See ya.
Bye.